Check, check, quick sound check. Can everybody hear us loud and clear? What's going on, Coach Paul?
Hey, Coach Jay, I can hear you loud and clear on this Friday in August.
Happy Friday, everyone. Summer Fridays at that. Summer's coming close to an end soon. So speaking of ending soon, maybe we'll give you some time back on this at the buzzer so everyone can enjoy their summer Friday. But thank you for joining us. If this is your first time here, welcome to At the Buzzer. The goal of this segment is to review what happened in the markets for the day. We may talk about some markets that you have not traded before, but we believe our goal as traders is to identify opportunity. We want to see how we could take advantage of those opportunities while managing our risk. If this is our first time meeting, I'm Coach Jay. Been a Topstep performance coach since June of 2023. Been trading for the past 13 years and in the futures markets for the past 6, and that is Coach Paul. Coach Paul, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Coach Paul. I've been with Topstep since April of 2023. I've been involved in the futures trading industry for 4 decades. I'm here to share some experience, some knowledge, and hopefully assist you in becoming a better trader.
Awesome stuff. And you are all our chat, our audience. Thank you for joining us. Light crowd today, and that is okay. You're probably enjoying your summer. Kids going back to school soon. Someone said in the opening call today, make your bread and go to the beach. I don't know if I'm going to go to the beach today, but I'm going to do something summer fun. All right. Let's talk about these markets. And let's see. We had some news out this morning. U.S. retail sales month over month came in at 0.5%. Forecast was 0.6. Industrial production came in at negative 0.1%. Forecast was 0%. University of Michigan sentiment came in at 58.6. Forecast was 62, so sentiment lower than expected. And we also saw the Trump and Putin meeting, which is kind of getting underway right now. Markets were looking at that. Coach Paul, anything you got on the news?
The news in Alaska, which is just starting, I think that's hovering over everything. So not much news outside of that. We had that Michigan, the University of Michigan.
Did I freeze? What the hell? Go ahead, keep talking.
I can hear you.
Keep talking. My
University of Michigan report came out showing the economy weakening a little bit. I think that that's adding data, independent data, that showing some concern. So other news than that, I think it's paled by this meeting between Mr. Putin and Mr. Trump. We've lost Coach Jay.
I'm still here. You should be able to hear me. I'm just trying to fix my camera. Let's pull up the quote board really quick while I do this. We'll multitask. I think my camera heard me say Summer Fridays, and it's like, all right, we're out of here. We got 35 different markets. 35 different markets we can trade with Topstep accounts today. To the downside, we had crude oil down 1.27%, RBOB gasoline futures down 1.33%, and micro Ethereum down 2.96% for our biggest percentage mover to the downside. To the upside, we had soybean oil up 2.09%. Corn up 2.14%, and natural gas, our biggest percentage mover to the upside, at 2.96%. To talk about our big four, we already talked about crude, down 1.27. The S&P is down 0.36%. Gold pretty much flat, down 0.01%, and the NASDAQ down 0.53%. Sorry, I'm not trying to ghost you guys. I promise we'll get this fixed in a second. Let's just see what happened here. I don't know what just happened with my camera. But let's see if it's...
Well, we hear your dulcet tones, and you can expound on your knowledge from there.
All right, he's back. They can't get rid of me. All right. Let's pull up a NASDAQ chart, Coach Paul. Let's take a look at the daily. Or do we want to do the weekly since we are at the end of the week?
It is Friday.
It is Friday. Let's look at the weekly. What is that?
That's an unchanged week at all-time highs. Now, we've seen that before about a month ago, didn't we? And should it continue higher? Well, one thing that sitting right here is a 20-day moving average.
Yep.
And it's starting to turn a little bit, but is this a 3-bar reversal?
It's looking like it. Looking like it for sure. We might be turning 3 down days. Starting a little downtrend there.
Still, I mean, it's at near or at all-time highs for all intents and purposes. For me to get really bearish, I would have to have a big volume day with finishing with an engulfing candle. We haven't had that. So maybe we get it next week, but we don't know. So right now it's still onward and upward.
Onward
on that
and
chart to me.
upward for sure. Let's go down to a shorter time frame. Let's take a look at the 30-minute really quick. And we had last night's open. Decent long opportunity last night. Anyone remember those prices that we saw, those big orders last night? There was a range. And I was telling Dakota as well, there were some offers in the NASDAQ in the 23,900 to 925 range last night. Important prices coming into that New York session open. We saw all of those orders get filled on the close yesterday. Actually, right after the close, a couple 900 lots showed up on the books. Someone was talking about, closing volume being pretty low. It wasn't yesterday. We had a ton of spikes in volume. I'm going to frame out this 3-minute candle here from last night. We saw the overnight long, decent trade opportunity, but I want to go straight to regular trading hours, Coach Paul. Couple of things I want to mark out actually. During the opening call, Hogan and I talked about the potential of trading back inside that CPI daily candle and where 50% of that candle was, which was 23,775. So we'll mark that out here. And 23,775. All right. And then if we go to regular trading hours and we take a look at that zone that we had all that selling in yesterday, when the regular trading hours started today, those same sellers were present, Coach Paul. And just took the market lower. Almost 160 points right off the open. We got some urgency. And right down to that 50% of the CPI candle. It's why we mark these things out. Does it play out all the time? It's not going to. But when you have a general area to look, and full transparency, I did not take this short at all. I was looking for opportunities to buy, but in a market that is making reluctant all-time highs, and the NASDAQ didn't make an all-time high, trying to identify a good place to buy is important. We sold right under that 200 moving average, Coach Paul. We cut right through it on the 30-minute, where it was holding as support before. And we've seen it. It tried. It did it yesterday. Did a great job yesterday. But eventually, if there are no buyers stepping in, we do see it break below, and now we're closing below it. So could this be a little bit of a reversal of that trend where we've been above that 200 moving average for a little while today?
Interesting that 200 is now bending.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to flatten out. In other words, it's losing its momentum on that kind of volume. Interesting. And it's that level is where the volume came in. It has not picked up. Under that 200, we've been over it for what, all week?
All week. Starting last week, we got above it last week on the 6th, and we've been above it since then. So healthy uptrend, but pullbacks in healthy uptrends are welcome as well. And those daily candles look pretty indecisive. So did that weekly. Let's go back to regular trading hours real quick and go down to that 3-minute chart again. Again, I did not take this short. Mo said it in the chat. All we had to do on the NASDAQ was take a short at the open and let it auto liquidate. Wish I had that foresight. It's why we do what we do in hindsight, because there are ways to do that, but you have to build the puzzle, Mo. You know, you got to have all the puzzle pieces together. The market has to agree with that puzzle, right? And not shred your plan before it before it plays out. And go ahead, Coach Paul.
Yeah, good point. You have to play for that.
Yep.
And in doing that, you have to take how many losses?
So many.
So it's not easy being sleazy, as we used to say in the trading pit. Um, so yeah, um, if you can do that, but you have to have a plan. That's where the foresight comes in, is
Yep.
having a plan and being able to withstand 70% of the time being wrong.
Right.
So yeah, it's great when it works. But then we have days here where we say it doesn't work. But if it works over time and you manage your money well, it's a great way of trading. I asked Jojo asked, was I a floor trader? Yes, for 25 years. 20 of it at the Chicago Board of Trade.
Good stuff. Trade ended up taking wasn't necessarily a J trade, but off of that level, and we talked about this, Coach Paul, just identifying what a reversal pattern looks like in an area, right? Demand area, support, resistance, whatever you want to call it. Wasn't exactly the perfect J trade, and we also had that Michigan sentiment number coming out. But this general area was a decent spot to limit risk, and we can see once you identified that, we didn't, you know, from that 775, the low at that point was 770 and a quarter, even on the Michigan sentiment. So can I take more than 5 points of risk in the NASDAQ? I should, or probably shouldn't be trading the NASDAQ. And a really nice bounce from from that area, you know, for a decent risk to reward trade here, right back into the middle of the opening range, right? That bounce brought us right back to the opening range. And we rejected again. We have volume under the range, rejected right at 50% and right back down. So pretty nice day in the NASDAQ, presented a decent opportunity on both sides, depending on how you were looking at it. Just some good trading overall. Here's another potential reversal pattern here. Yeah, anything else you got on the NASDAQ, Coach Paul?
No, but kind of a heavy finishing action. Maybe that makes sense on a Friday, but I have nothing else to add to that.
Yep. JMU, what time frame, what time zone are you looking at? Says question for Coach Paul. What is a possible interpretation for price movement in between 11:30 and 12? Is that Central Time or Eastern Time? Because that means might mean something just a little bit different. And JoJo wants. Yeah, I think he's talking about the NASDAQ, but JoJo wants to know, Coach Paul, if you have a book, and if so, JoJo wants to read it.
I shall write one then. That's my first request.
There you go.
I'll begin at. I'd love to write a book.
Coach Paulisms. We got Andre writing a book. Andre is putting together pretty cool sounding book. So JMU wants to look at the price action between 11:30 and 12. Any interpretation of this price action right here?
Let's bring it to a 1 minute. Get down to the granular. So between 11:30 and 12, we had a V bottom, right? Did we get a J trade on that? Selling continuation? No, that was not.
Maybe like a B plus one, because it wasn't the highest volume. You can't always get what you want, but if we use the highest volume, yes, we did. We still did. If we use the highest volume, we did.
Yeah.
In this time frame.
Well, we had whatever selling coming in. A nice move. Where we made lows, that was lows for the day, right? Looks like selling stopped. I don't, there was definitely my interpretation, just looking at the move, there was probably some headline movement.
I mean, Zai in the chat says London close. I mean, the London close right here at 11:30. I don't know how much, market on London close, this had an effect. But yeah, there was something going on here.
Yeah. But here is the key: is like we had the nice movement, we had good selling. Selling stopped more than it was accumulated, I believe. Like instead of some big buyer came in and took them out, they just stopped selling and it drifted up higher, right back to where it started at that time frame. Now, what's interesting, that's a half hour, right? So it's algorithmically, when you think of a script for an algorithm like VWAP, where someone wants to sell it all day and parse it out, a lot of times it starts on the half an hour. Like it's really programmed. Start it every half an hour, sell 10% of the total that we need to sell. So sometimes you can see that in the beginning, you'll see like a flash of volume. This really didn't happen here, but I found it interesting that half an hour we had a nice V down, stop selling, right back to selling. But other than that, I can't. There's nothing stands out.
All right, good stuff.
But I
Coach
just
Paul.
want to reiterate: watch those half hour on the top of the half hour, or even on the hourlies. That's when a lot of allocation type scripts or algos start putting volume out.
Yep, good point. Watch the top and bottom of the hours. Might see some volume trading around there. Anything else you got on the NASDAQ, Coach Paul, or equities in general?
No. Well, I have to ask what my friend Rusty did today.
Take a look at the daily in the Russell. What are we looking at here?
Nice little correction. Still solid. Let's look at a weekly. Since it's been trailing and catching up, yeah, still looks like it's in a bullish mode to me. That's about all I have in the equities.
Pretty bullish. Let me see something real quick. Okay. All right, let's go over to gold. Take a look at gold today on the daily. Where's the candle? Almost couldn't find it.
Is it a candle for ants?
Candle for ants, $17 range in $17 range in gold today. What is it looking like on the daily, Coach Paul, to you?
Well, it's in the apex of all apexes. What I mean by that, there's nothing to say here. It's a balanced market. There is no urgency in this market. We still longer, but like we've said this, I feel like I repeat myself every day here. It's still a very friendly long-term trend. But most of that buying I believe was driven by central bank buying. They're just not doing it now. We'll see if that continues. But the longer it goes on here, we've seen this and go. That's my only key there. For me, the 200-day moving average on the half hour, if we can close above there, I'm going to start anchoring some VWAPs and see if we can get a nice run.
Yeah, pretty uneventful day in gold today. $17 range. We've seen better. Gold, you've done better. If you made some money in gold today, you did it trading the range, and great job. But not a whole lot to talk about today. It was pretty. Some days you're gonna have it like this, right? A pretty quiet market. Crude oil. Let's take a look at crude on a daily. What are we seeing here? continued
Still
rejection at that 200.
continued. But here's that I think, the wild factor in there is this meeting this weekend,
Yes.
considering, sanctions on Russian oil. If for some reason that doesn't work out, you could see crude fall again. But yeah, at that balance, we're sitting sideways from what the last a couple of things I read about crude from sources that I've known in the past that are saying that, if we look, one of the things I wanted to bring up is the backwardization of prices in crude oil. In
Okay.
other words, the front month of crude is higher priced than the next 6 months,
Hmm.
which is usually happens under um, times when there's shortage of a commodity.
Okay.
But
That's not the case here.
this is not the case here. There's plenty of crude, but from what I've seen, what I've heard from what is that the demand is crisp. The economy is doing fine.
Mm.
So it's to me, my mind starts thinking. I put on my tin hat. It's like this market is artificially being held back
Right.
by selling back month futures. That if that ever slips, we could have a pop. But I'll take my tin hat off. We're trading day to day, and we're finding balance here. Let's look what happened today.
Take a look at last night's open. First half an hour. Stayed in that range for a little bit. We know that crude may not always be the most volatile market or opportunity presenting market in the Asia session. Here is the London session open. Got a little selling before that, around 1 a.m. Central Time. Saw some selling coming in, but pretty nice downward flow in this market today. It did it the way crude is going to do it, especially by the time we got to the New York session with some overlaps. We took an opening range short today during the opening call. Got stopped out. I think we all liked the short, just maybe didn't love the location. But if you're taking a mechanical trade like that, the opening range trade, you just have to accept you're going to eat what I cooked. You're going to accept the location wherever the trade presents itself. But if you're taking trades, based on levels, demand, and things like that, supply, we could see that this London range set pretty much the high from that time frame, right? Volume left the range to the downside. Any of these spikes into this gave you an opportunity to short. But this is why we manage risk, right? Because right on direction here, maybe wrong on location or timing on this trade. Chat likes a 5-minute opening range, so we were here. We broke initially. High volume, double the average, not the highest volume. I'm looking at a 1-minute chart, but a close above. Bought right back up. Tagged that area a couple times before we eventually broke, but what happened? Why are you laughing over there?
Well, because you can see this in a balanced market, right?
Yep.
This is the up and down. This is an ultimate range trade. If you're a range trader, this is your your market.
Yep. Yes, it is. Yeah, your market for sure. Nice opportunities here in crude oil. We've been saying it on the daily. It's not really going anywhere. But intraday movements, we still got a 1.28% move from settlement. About a 2% high to low move in crude oil today. So there is some opportunity in that market for sure. Jen and John says you did not have a good week in a different set of words, but did not have a good week. I sucked pretty hard this week. Pause. That's crazy. But hey, Jen and John, it happens sometimes. There are weeks where I don't trade very well either. And it's about assessing what was the game plan and how Yeah, that was nuts. But it's about assessing the game plan and seeing how I execute the game plan, right? And that's really all our job is identifying a game plan and then seeing how we execute it. If we don't execute it for whatever reason, if we don't execute our game plans, we have to ask why. Um, what are some potential reasons why somebody might not execute a game plan? I'll throw one out, Coach Paul. Over leverage.
That's one. The other one is it's very easy not to follow a plan if you don't truly believe it. Where you're, in other words, I don't want to take this loss. I can feel it. No, and then you're off the plan.
Yep.
It's easy to get, all the, what is the John Steinbeck quote? All the plans of mice and men go astray.
Yep.
Maybe that'll be the title of my book.
It's a good one.
Because that's what happens when we talk is you don't have skin in the game, right? And when if you don't have skin in the game, you can look and go, this is easy. We all do this at one point. All I got to do is buy here, sell there, and do it 50 times.
So
until
hard.
You have
so hard to do.
Skin in the game, and then you got heat.
Yep.
So one of the ways to help you with that is to go back and review them and journal it. Because then you see the other you. And when you're honest, you're like, who the hell made, I've said this before, who the fuck made this trade?
Wasn't me.
I couldn't have possibly done that.
Right.
Me.
It's not the me that thinks in my best interest, right? It's that other guy who sometimes shows up, but the me that thinks in my best interest would never do this. Right.
Yeah. Fear of what? Fear of losing? Fear
right.
of, there's another one, fear of not being right.
Big one.
Another fear of having to be right. But when you review that and you journal it, you start accepting the other me can't make the decisions. I need to make the decisions and be comfortable. We talk about the principles of successful traders.
Yep.
Predetermine the risk. Predetermine the risk, accept it or don't make the damn trade.
There we go.
All right, I'll get off my pulpit now.
Hey, no, that's important stuff, man. It really is. It really is. You just said it, right? Predetermine the risk. That's the probably most important decision that anyone makes as a trader, right? How much am I willing to spend for this information in the markets? And if that's predetermined, then I already accept it, right? And I don't have to think about that in real time, right? In real time, it feels less like you're paying for information and more like somebody's sticking you up, right? Like, hey, give me your money. It's like, wait, I didn't plan to give away this much, right? What is happening, right? And then you try to protect yourself a little bit. If you determine exactly how much you're going to risk on any trade before it happens, makes it much easier to make the decisions. Because one of the most important decisions is already made.
Yeah, because it's like you're purchasing something versus, be like buying something at the store and say, well, just tell me later how much, after I get it, how much you're going to charge me.
Right. It's the market price menu on at some restaurants, right? It's just like, yeah, right. It's the market price menu. I'll take the lobster. It's market price, but I won't tell you what the price is until after you eat it.
After you eat it.
Right.
So would you do, that's a good conversation. Would you do that?
Depends on how I'm feeling. Depends on how I traded that week.
Yeah. Well, I know I wouldn't. I'd be like, no.
Right.
What's the price? So
right.
To help you come over this, you're just like, this is the price I need to pay. Well, the price might be too much. Or I have to get the price right. Right? But I got the price right. Now I know I'm sized right.
Right.
Now it's easier to execute a plan. Because what do you have when you don't have that predetermined risk? you have drama. Like,
Yep.
oh, this one could.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're sitting on pins and needles.
That's a lot of stress. That is a
So,
lot of stress. We got one more question from JMU. Do you have a go-to entry setup for base hit trades? I love this question because not every trade needs to be a home run trade.
yeah.
Is there a trade that I could look for? And let's just go to the NASDAQ. Is there a trade that I look for, maybe 10 points? Actually, JMU, if you watched the Thunderdome this week, I actually took some of those trades, right? Where I was not looking for a whole lot and it was looking for a base hit. For me, what I've identified it as is waiting for the market to establish a range and then just taking a couple points out of that range. I am not the range trader who's looking to go, range to range on a trade. Just doesn't sit well with me. It's just not the way I like to establish risk because I like to establish risk in momentum markets, right? But what I will do, and JD has a good one here, retest of opening and closing ranges, 100%. That's it, right? So for me, actually, that's not a good example. Let's use, man, where was I short from? Hold on one second. Let me pull up the executions on this. Because this one was a base hit trade specifically. All right, perfect. So base hit trade for me, we've identified a range, right? The market slowed down a little bit. We've identified the 800s up here. We had VWAP from the New York session. We pushed up into it. Volume is lower. Quick fade opportunity here. That's a base hit. I'm not looking for a major home run. Once we got to, I think, 15 points in the profit on this trade, I moved my stop to break even, plus a little bit just to pay for the trade, pay for commissions, and just looking for a small base hit, right? I don't need, I also think base hit circumstances need to apply as well, right? Like what pitch is the market throwing you? And in this case, it's not presenting a home run pitch, right? This is not the fastball down the middle. This is, hey, just make contact. So here we're under VWAP. We've rejected at it a couple times. Take a small scalp. I do not need this to go to the other end of the range, especially for me as a range trader, because I look at this because I'm identifying the low of the range here. It doesn't get there. So now I'm upset if I try to look for this home run trade. So quick 15 points. Right. That was the entry on that one. What about you, Coach Paul? You got any base hit trades that you look for?
Not necessarily. Because I'm really not good at them. Because it tends to make me trade too much. So I limit now with that said, that's why I scan different markets. But my base hit too can be taking a micro and looking, like I just said, to make an average true range in a 5-minute time frame. Part of that that makes sense, like what you just explained. But I'm not a 2-to-1 to me is a base hit trade. If I can get 2-to-1, that's why I limit anywhere. I'll take the risk. Because I believe that most day trading is taking consistently base hits. And I feel like you said that the Coach Jack likes to say all the time, if you're a 300 hitter in baseball,
Hall of Fame.
You're in the Hall of Fame. If you got $100 million in the bank. So that's the way I look at it. But I don't have a go-to. My base hit is getting any place I can get when we talk about a 2-to-1 on something that I'm looking for.
Yep. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff, Coach Paul. All right.
Oscar, let's go. That's a question for you, Coach.
Could you please go back in the daily and micro gold? All right. And after this one, we're going to wrap it. We're going to actually try to stick to Summer Fridays. We always try and it never works.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Could you please go back in the daily MGC and see the same pattern? Top long wick red candle with high volume, and the next few days the price dropped 422 and 58 and 88. All right, so 422 blow off top. That was our high a day, all-time high. 58 blow off top. Continue
Oh,
sell
that's
off.
a
And
50% of the candle.
yep. And here. Yeah.
Just recent.
Oscar, good eye. Good eye. Now, I think we've had this one. We see the continuation. You know that like when you're in the mall and you walk in an entrance that you never entered before and you're just like, you got to find the directory and you are here. Where are we now? Because the patterns are patterns, right? Where are we now in this you are here example, right? Where we see a couple of days of continued selling and then a bounce back, right? And that's kind of what we've been talking about in gold, where I'm still waiting for, the bounce off the lows of this trend line. And this is why I don't know trend lines, because where do you draw this?
Well, the trend line
Is it
has
here?
been broken. That's a
It
solid
has
trend
been.
line.
Yeah, it has. This one here.
Yeah, I mean, that's concerning if you're a longer term buyer. I mean, that.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Telephone.
Hello.
Yeah, we've closed under that trend line. But Oscar, that's a good example. Good example there. You're seeing that blow off top and we reject. So, how many more down days? I'm still looking for, a 3320 test, the low of this daily candle. We were talking about this yesterday. Do we start to see some price acceptance below 50% of this candle? This was NFP day, where we had a ton of data come out that day. 50% is holding. If it doesn't hold, then do we see that rotation to the lower extreme? Could start with this blow off top move that we've seen do it a couple times. So Oscar, nice observation there. All right, Coach Paul, any other markets you want to talk about?
Just bring up soybeans. I'm gonna come off left base here. Look at this move we
About to
had
steal
this
home
week.
plate.
Yeah, look at this move we had this week.
Wow.
Yes, George Soros was on the phone, but he's not. He was trying to call the Treasury Secretary, who was his lead trader.
Gave him the wrong
Just
number.
got the wrong number.
Gave him a digit off.
Or he was watching and he said, "Hey,
You're giving up the secrets."
giving up the secrets. Shut up. I'll pay you to shut up." No, interesting chart here. Look at the volume off the bottom, and those were contract lows. And it was pretty strict. We're back above the 200. Now it's been fluctuating, but look at the 200 is going sideways. It's almost like
flat line.
But it's come off a pretty big break. So it's worth looking to see if there's because when soybeans go up, it's one of the best markets.
The NASDAQ of the grains is the definition that you gave it a couple years ago. The NASDAQ of the grains.
Yeah. It's like when it's rewarding, it's rewarding. But in the meantime, you got to stay alive. But while I'm bringing this up, yeah, look at that. We've had a look at that candle off, and what did it bounce off of, Coach?
Right off that candle.
And look at the big candle.
Yep. Oh, right off. Right. Come on. What is the white line? 200 moving average. Line. Right off of it.
And it's held it.
Man, that is a significant candle. That was the WASD report right here. Remember?
Yeah.
If you guys remember earlier in the week, we said if you trade the grains, watch out for that WASD report. This is why. But now, how do we frame that WASD report for potential opportunities going forward? Same way we would do NFP, CPI, whatever it is. I'm looking for this volume to leave that range, and for this to hold. Or if it doesn't hold, then we look for rotation. JD, JD's playing 3D chess over there.
So that one has, I mean, I like the action volume wise, daily chart. It's over. Things are heating up. The other part, and I'm going to throw on the tin hat or my fundamental hat.
Usually made of tin.
Now, tariff, yes. Part of the big break that happened in soybeans because of tariffs. China said, we just won't buy your soybeans. And they haven't. They've literally not bought one shipment of the United States soybeans. At one time, in the not too distant future, the United States was the largest exporter of soybeans to China. They no longer do it. They get it from Brazil. Brazil is a bigger soybean producer than us, I believe now. But that being said, could part of the Chinese U.S. talks on tariffs include a promise to buy a large amount of soybeans? It's a very possible that could happen. And a news like that would send the soybeans rocking higher.
Interesting stuff. Speaking of China buying things from the U.S., I just saw in Financial Juice towards the end of the day, it looks like they're giving out like some of our different trade partners their treasury holdings. China's U.S. treasury holdings were 756 billion in June versus 756 billion in May. That number didn't change. They didn't buy any more treasuries. And we're seeing China, who's our, number 2 leading, debt buyer. Japan is up there as well. Japan went from 1.148 trillion to 1.148 trillion from 1.135. So they're buying more. The UK buying more. China, no buying between May and June. Interesting. All right.
I'm sorry, I can't go without it.
Go ahead.
Bond chart.
I got a 30-year up here right now.
Now let's throw that daily. We're back under. Look at that. We're curling back under that 200. We finished right at the 50-day. This market we just talked. If they have some debt to sell. They've made an abrupt turnover. With that PPI number, we haven't really recovered. This could pick up some steam, and it turned hard. It kind of hit a wall at that wall right there. We've been there how many times now?
Too many to count.
So that could get heated up.
Whoa, what was that? What was this? That was probably a bond auction. Oh no, that was that random spike of selling that came in.
We still have to keep that.
Instant recovery.
That's absolute 1% randomness that no one could explain. Fat thumb.
We're under it now.
We're testing around it because we're under it now.
We are under it now.
Keep that on there. We'll keep an eye. Look at when it peaked above it. It peaked above and it said, "Here you go.
Sell some more. Sell some more." All right. Anything else you got before we go, Coach Paul? Any other markets you want to talk about? I think we got through all the questions.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Let our people go.
Coach Moses.
And
Alex is beating the traffic. Alex is going to beat the traffic. He's already in the car. It's the bottom of the 9th, and the home team is losing by 10. So Alex is out of here. Let's get out of here. Enjoy your summer Friday, everybody. Coach Paul, you got plans for the weekend?
Air show in Chicago.
Oh, nice. Those are always fun.
Thunderbirds fly over your head into some golf.
That is always fun.
It saddens me because it's usually the end of the summer when you see that.
Yep. So
I love the summer.
Go enjoy it. We got a couple months, depending on where you are in the world, but a couple months of 4 p.m. darkness, at least in the Northeast. Not looking forward to it, so I'm gonna go enjoy the sun before we get frozen here. Thank you everyone for joining. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. We will catch you all on Monday. Coach Hoop is still doing his class in Discord, I believe, at 4:30 Central Time. Show him some love over there, and then go enjoy your weekend. Have a great one. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.